Hi, everybody. It's Julie from the PMFRC again, and welcome to this week's Fireside Chat. This week, we have a number of guests joining us, and we're talking about moving to Ontario, and specifically about the services provided by our Information Services Department. We have been so fortunate on these Fireside Chats that we have had a number of our community partners that have stepped up to say, you know what, we have services for your military families. We want to tell you about that, and we have that again this week. So I'm very happy. I'm going to go through and I'm going to do a roundtable introduction of the folks that we have on the call today. Angèle Stellian, for those of you who have been to the Southside Community Center during the day, you will recognize Angèle's smiling face. So for those of you who have missed Angèle, here she is for you. Claudia Beswick, Executive Director of the PMFRC. She joins us every week. Consuela Prue is our Information Services Coordinator. So Consuela works at the Family Center. We also have Megan Biscope. Megan works with Service Ontario, and she's going to answer some of our questions about changing your paperwork over. And last but not least, we have Pat Desormeaux. Pat works for PSP, so he's going to answer some of our questions about PSP. Just before we start off, just to let you know, if any of our guests are talking about telephone numbers or websites or email addresses, we are going to add that to the chat section. So don't worry if you've missed it. Just check the chat section below. All of those are going to pop up. So if you're watching this or if you want to come back afterwards, all of that information will be there. You won't have to sort of watch us all again to figure out where we mentioned that telephone number. So Claudia, as always, we've got a tradition that we start off by asking you what's new with the PMFRC. Last week, we talked about the fact that Children's Services was starting to ramp up. Do you want to talk about where we are with that?
Sure, I can give a brief update. With regards to the daycares, our primary focus right now is the reopening of the full-time daycare. So Little Troopers South, Little Troopers North, and the private home daycare centers. There's a lot of administration that needs to be done from our end. Before we can reopen. We're working on various processes to make sure that all of the new ministry requirements and all the sanitization, everything that has to be done, identified by the health agency, that is all in place. We have to do training with the staff, and we have to make sure that we get all of our documentation approved prior to the reopening before we can actually reopen and welcome back families. So there's a lot of that going on. We are going to be sending out a survey to the families that are already registered in the program, so they can let us know what it is that they need, and we can see what we are able to accommodate given the new restrictions that are in play. So a lot going on there. I will send up an update on our Facebook and Story Park pages at the end of the week to see how much more progress we've made by Friday. With regards to the programming side of the house, again, we'll align our reopening with the garrison, and all of the departments are really working hard at getting the virtual, transitioning some of the programs and activities to virtual, and looking what reopening looks like for them within each of our respective buildings. So that's about it for an update of where we are, not so much since last week.
At the end of the day, it's the safety of our staff and the safety of our clients that is so important to us. And that takes a long time to get going, but at the end of the day, it's really worth the effort. And I know that you and the childcare team has been working really hard to make sure that these systems are in place. Consuela, let's start with you. You are the Information Services Coordinator. So oftentimes when people first come to Petawawa, you are the person that they see. And you have a lot of resources that you share with families. Can you talk about some of the stuff that's available for families that you can provide them with when they arrive?
Yes, absolutely. As members and their families are moving from another province or within Ontario, it's really important that they can have access that's key information, and they can have it at their fingertips. So one of the tools that we've created is a welcome package. And the goal of the welcome package when we designed it is literally in the hopes that the members would receive it prior to getting here. So most of this information is to help them once they get here. So what you'll find in the welcome package, and this is just like a little visual to show you, there's maps of Pembroke, maps of Petawawa, information. And there's also a map of the base, which members find very useful. And then we have like our app card, so you can download our app information. We have our magnet with your contact number in it. And obviously, of course, the main thing is the welcome package. So, and in there, you have all the information for Service Ontario, education, healthcare, how to get a family doctor, And obviously it goes through all the services that we offer, as well as our community partners information. We also have another great tool that we have is once members actually are clearing in, we have this little rack card kit. And it basically has all the information in there of all the different programs that we offer. And it's all detailed information with contact information. And because it's so small, and then you can just leave it, on your night table or whatever. So as you need the services, or as let's say your family's growing up and different needs arise, and then you can just put up and then have a look at it. We also have a very well-populated resource library, and we have a ton of handouts with referrals to community organizations and services. Also, our services are bilingual, so there's normally at any location that you go, you will have a member of our staff that can speak English or French. If not, they will find someone that can. And lastly, normally, family members would typically drop in at the family center. However, now we're doing pretty much everything over the phone or by email.
So you talked about the welcome package. Oftentimes what happens is you've already mailed that out to families, but that maybe didn't necessarily work out because it gets mailed to the members' place beforehand. Those welcome packages are available online, are they not?
Yes, absolutely. There's a flip book, and actually the welcome package that's available online is interactive, so that's even better than the paper copy. But you'll have pictures on it, and then when you click on the links, it brings you directly to like Service Ontario, or if you're looking for employment, it'll bring you right to that location.
One of the things that people always talk about in Petawawa is they don't know where to start. Like they first get here, they don't know where to go, what to do. Angèle, the Information Services team, has come up with a fun activity that they are introducing this week. Can you talk a little bit about what that is and what families can do to get involved?
Yeah, absolutely. This month, we're launching a Discover Petawawa Bingo for families to get out and essentially explore Petawawa. So we created this game to help new families to get out and get to know the area, but everyone's welcome to come play, whether you've been here for years or you're new. Thanks, Consuela. All you need to get started is to download or print the bingo card, which will be available on our website, and an answer sheet. Now, instead of numbers, the card will present clues or bits of information for you to find all around Petawawa for you to discover. It's a great way to enjoy some fresh air while walking your dog or out with the kids, but it's also something you can do with an entire family or by yourself. And when you've completed at least one bingo line, you can do as many as you can. You can email us a picture of the card or the answer sheet. And our email is isa.pmfrc@bellnet.ca, just with the subject line bingo answers. And then we'll do a draw with the completed cards, and there'll be a few prizes. So if you would like more information, there'll be details in the newsletter coming up this week and on our Facebook page.
That newsletter is coming out on Friday afternoon. I've lived in Petawawa for almost 6 years, and I was going through some of the questions. I'm like, I don't know if I know necessarily the answer to that. So it's a good chance, even if you've been here for a while, sometimes you haven't necessarily gone to different corners to maybe see what hidden treasures Petawawa has to offer. And if you're new here, good for you. You get to discover them all in that first week and see what you want to check out again after. Pat, we talked about the fact, I just mentioned the fact that people consider Petawawa to be a small town, but once they get here, what I always hear is, I can't believe how big this base is. I can't believe everything that's available. Can you talk a little bit about some of the facilities that are available on base from a PSP perspective?
Yes, for sure. So PSP, we're lucky actually to have such a broad variety of facilities that we offer. So one of them is Dundonna Hall, where you have access to all your facility equipment in terms of working out. The pools is located in there as well. We have Civil Dart Arena, which has 2 ice pads for everybody to enjoy as well. We have a rec center, which I'm currently located at right now. So this is where you come get your PSP planned memberships, as well as we offer fitness classes as well in there. Before and after school programs takes place in here. Registration takes place in here as well. The Southside Community Center is similar. We share it with the FRC as well. So we offer broad programs and clubs that we offer. So we offer rec clubs. So in terms of that, we have the board games clubs. We also have a wood hobby shop that we offer. We do special events. We have casual care facilities. So meaning if you have a little one at home that wants to do that, you want to come in and work out, you come in and work out, and we offer childcare only in the mornings. with our facilities, only at the rec center as well. So we have kids and youth programming that we offer. We have youth sports and adults. So this summer we're a little bit down that we couldn't play football. Football is coming back. It's something that we're excited about. So we want to bring it back next year as well. So we have fitness and wellness programs, and of course a big aquatics program that we run here over at Dundonald Hall. So
what we are doing, we have a really lucky situation here in Petawawa, that we have a great relationship with the PSP at the MFRC. And in fact, we share a website. So if you're looking for information about PSP programs or PMFRC programs, the link is cafconnection.ca/Petawawa. In the comments section, we are going to post a list of all of the facilities. So a lot of the locations that Pat was talking about, there's going to be a list of the locations. There's going to be a blurb about what's available at each of the locations. And then there's a map on how to find it. So there's the north side and the south side. So it gives you a better idea of what you're trying to find if you're just arriving here. A lot of these activities, Pat, they're all available to the families as well.
Yes, they are. So, and the PSP plan is probably one, if you have a membership as well, comes with a cheaper cost. So
that's something to check out. Megan, thank you for joining us from Service Ontario. We have a lot of families who are moving here right now. And if you have moved, you know that there is a lot of paperwork to do. And oftentimes that involves health cards and driver's licenses. And can you tell us sort of the state of the Service Ontario offices, what's open, what's available, and what people can find if they are going through and doing those paperwork?
Of course. So with our pandemic going on right now, we do have reduced hours, and everything is quite fluid. We're taking it on a week-by-week basis right now. So currently, our office is open from 9:30 to 3:30. There is talk that they're going to extend that back to 9:30 to 5. We, at this point, are not accepting walk-ins because we're in the CanX building and we don't have a street entrance. We really can't be taking the CanX numbers for a 30-person lineup. So we do have a phone number that you can call. It's 613-687-7661. We can set you up with an appointment or let you know when that changes, because there's also talk that that's not going to continue, and what our process is. We can also let you know what documents you need. With moving within the province is pretty simple. You're going to switch your driver's license, your vehicle ownerships over, health cards. It's just an address change. There's nothing special there. Some of it can be done online. Some of it needs to be done in person. You can check the Service Ontario, the ontario.ca website, to find out what you can do online and what you actually need to come in person to do. Right now, because of the pandemic, we are not, you're not required to update your address on your driver's license and vehicle registration until the end of the pandemic. If you're feeling that it does need to get done, definitely give us a call and we can make sure that we accommodate you the best that we can. If you're coming in from out of province, it is a little bit more involved. In regards to vehicles coming in from out of province, they will need safeties and Ontario insurance. Driver's licenses need to get switched over to Ontario. We do not do that at Service Ontario. That's done through Drive Test in Pembroke. Right now, they're closed. I've heard talk that they're reopening, but they are not attached to us at all. We have no information other than what we see on the website or hear on the news. If there is an issue in regards to not being able to switch over your driver's license, but needing to get your vehicle registered in Ontario, please contact us. We do have a few contingency plans in place that we can set you up with. It's not our normal practice, but right now nothing is normal. So we do what we can. In regards to switching over health cards for military family members from out of province, there are documents that you require: passport or birth certificate, proof of residency, and proof of identity. So something with your name and signature. That one's never the tough one. The ones that tend to be the issue is the residency document, especially if the families are living in a PMQ, because the lease doesn't have the spouse and children's names on it. So you can actually request a letter from military housing that gives a list of who is on the lease, more or less, the spouse and children or any other family members that are living in that residence. So that is something that we do need, is that residency document. If you've purchased a home, your home insurance policy or your first hydro bill, but the applicant's name needs to be on it. So if the military member has hydro and gas in their name, that is not going to work. So sometimes it's a little challenging. Again, give us a call. What we're trying to avoid right now, what we always try to avoid, but more so now than ever, is repeat visits. We don't want you out more than you need to be. We don't want you in our office more than you need to be. We are quite busy, so please give us a call. Check the ontario.ca website. It's pretty easy to use. I would recommend whatever you're looking for, you can just search it in the search bar on our website, not Google. Don't Google, but on our website, you can look it up. Driver's license or health card, it will give you all the options to have a look. We do also have a 1-800 number set up specifically for military families. We have people who specialize in military family situations. This is something that the ministry and the military have gotten together and done a lot of work on. So we have specialized agents who are able to give specific information for military families. The number is 1-888-333-8545. And they will be able to give a little bit more pertinent information, because the military families are not our standard cookie cutter sort of transfer in, transfer out. So definitely give them a call or give us a call at the office and we'll get you all sorted out.
That is fabulous. So I'm going to give that number again. It's 1-888-333-8545, and we're going to put that in the comments. Information specific to military families. We say this every week, and listening to Meg and Pat, it rings true again. We would rather have you call us and ask the question than not get the support that you need. So if you're not sure, give us a call. If we don't have the answer, we will help you find the answer. We will help you get to the person that you need to, but please don't think that you're bothering us. Ask the question, and we will do what we can to make sure that it's a smooth transition for you. That is our goal, to make sure that you get to Petawawa, that you get settled in, and that you are happy and doing well. Pat, you talked pretty quickly about the PSP plan. Can you just give a little description of what the PSP plan is?
Yeah, the PSP plan actually is formerly known as the CAC membership. We just changed the name, so we're transitioning for that. It was supposed to happen 1 April. Unfortunately, with the pandemic, we couldn't do that. So essentially, what it entails is that, essentially what happens, or what's going to happen, is essentially you'll be issued a new card. So we're just phasing out the old cards and then issuing you a new card, which will then be, if you're using the gym or facilities, you'll be able to have the ability, especially at downtown hall, to scan in, which is a new feature for everyone, so to make it a little bit seamless. And what the plan entails, so it's $865 a month for a family membership, and then $1017 a month for a single membership. So if you have any families that are dependent that live at home, so they can either pay a drop-in fee when they visit those facilities, or you can sign up for the PSP plan membership, which will give you access to those facilities, free kayak and canoe down at Jubilee Lodge in the winter time. We changed it up to cross-country skiing and snowshoeing down over there. It gives you as well discounted price on the memberships that you choose to join for those as well, so for the family included. So there's rock climbing here that we can do, so that comes at a discounted price as well if you have a PSP plan membership. So, but the big thing you want to make sure is that everyone understands we're just changing the name of the PSP plan from CAC to PSP plan membership, and it's going to make it a lot better with our new cars that we're going to be able to scan in eventually at Downtown Hall. It's going to be really great for everyone. So I encourage everyone to sign up for one of those, especially if you have dependents or family that lives with you at home. So there's lots to do. There's a lot of activities that we have, so it's definitely well worth it. So
if anybody asks you if you got your CAC card, it's the PSP plan card now, just to avoid that confusion. That's available to members, and we're going to be rolling it out once things open up again.
Yes.
Perfect. Claudia, speaking of changes and things that are new, Typically when members clear in, they go to the family center and they walk in and we give them a piece of paper and they fill out, but we are not doing that anymore. Can you talk about what the clear in, clear out process is for members now that we have made some changes?
Sure. I think a lot of people already know that the in and out clearances is really an important part for the member and the family when they're coming in and leaving whatever base that they're at. So as you said, people used to visit the family center, and now because we're closed to the public, we've had to look at new ways to try and get the information about the families and for the families. So it's a bit of a challenge to do this virtually, but I think we have it working now. We have a PDF fillable form for, I'll talk specifically about the out clearance first. There's a PDF fillable form, and I guess the links will be provided in the comments below. So the member will complete the form, and then they will send it to the email address on the form, which is our Information Services office. They will make your profile inactive on our database, and that includes any family members that are attached to that profile. And then they will email you confirmation that you've successfully cleared out, and that's your confirmation when you go to the orderly room for your final clear out process. So that's the out clearance. For the in clearance, for new families coming in, typically this is a form that the member will fill out. The member can provide the family's information as well, and an email address, and then we have someone that will call the family and welcome them to the community. And this form, when the member fills it out, will create a profile in our database. Minimal information at this point, but it's also important for us to know that if there's stuff that you want for your families, whether it's special needs, employment services, francophone services, all of those things that normally take place when you're face-to-face in person, Consuela and her team are now offering it virtually. So she has virtual office hours, or you can call the number and set up a one-on-one session, and they'll go through all of this for you. We have such a diverse amount of programs and activities, and we really cater to the families and what those needs are. And having that conversation is going to better support the family. So again, the in clearance form is also available. It's a PDF fillable form. Once you do that, the member can send it to the same email address, and then someone from Consuela's team or Consuela herself will reach out to the family and get connected and make sure that the families are connected with us if they choose to be connected with us. So yeah, it's great. The team is great. The team has a lot of information. They'll connect to community resources, to whatever programs and services we have here, to other things that are going on with our base partners as well. So really encourage that, although this is a virtual aspect to it now, for new families to help you integrate into the community, get to know Petawawa a little bit better, and get comfortable in your role, to give us a call once those in clearances are done.
Consuela, you've talked about all the information and resources that are available. Does a family have to already be here to take advantage of that, or can you help them and walk them through some of this process before they get here? What's the best time for them to call you?
Anytime. But as we have families that call us once they have the posting message, but some call us when there might be a posting message. So, and these are the best, because then, you know, they're planning for their move and they want to get all the information. Normally, this is something that they can do on their house hunting trip and come see us. But for now, they can call us or email us. And as Claudia mentioned, we'd be more than happy to schedule a one-on-one virtual info session. And it's really at a time that's convenient to you. So it could be morning, day, even in evenings, Monday to Friday. Let us know, and we'll be sure to be available to answer all your questions.
And Consuela, you have a video, right? The Welcome to Petawawa WebEx that's recorded.
Yes, it's, oh, you know what, I just realized, I don't think it's recorded yet.
Okay.
That's a good point. We'll record it, but we absolutely do. Like, it's ready. We just actually need to record a section. Thank you.
Or we can do it live with you one-on-one and you can ask your questions.
Yes.
We've been talking a lot on this call about families who are just moving in, but I just wanted to sort of point one thing out. Oftentimes people think that information services is just there when you arrive in Petawawa, but sometimes what happens is your life changes. I mean, you might have moved here as a single member and you got married. come to the family center, you know, so we can talk to your spouse and let them know about the services that are available if there's been a change to your family. If you have children while you're here and you're interested in finding out about programs for children, if you're interested in finding out about our prenatal program, any question that you have about a change in your life or a service in town, call Consuela and her team. They have that information and they can point you in the right direction and maybe save you a couple of telephone calls. So you don't have to be just, you know, unpacking your moving truck to access that service. They are there for you all the time. Before we go to questions from the call, I'd just like to do a little bit quick roundtable and just ask, if someone wants to get a hold of you, what's the best way to do it? Pat.
The best way to do it for us is to send us an email at recplex@forces.gc.ca. It's monitored daily, if not hourly. So we'll make sure that we're able to do that, and then we're able to pass it on to the person that needs to, and we're really pretty quick at fairly answering those questions. So
perfect. Megan, we have the 613-687-7661 from your office. And we also have that handy 1-888 number that you gave us for military families. Can you just repeat what the website is for
Ontario.ca. It covers everything in the province. The search tools are quite good. It's broken down into different things, what you're looking to do. So there's the part about driving in vehicles. You're looking to do your driver's license or transfer your vehicle to Ontario. You're going to click on that link. There's one for health cards that also includes getting on the list for a family doctor, all that stuff. So you'll click on that and then just follow the clicks through to the topic that you're looking for.
So Ontario, that's a great resource for people who are looking for information on settling in and getting organized. And again, for those life changes as things happen different in your family. Consuela, do you want to talk about the number to reach your team?
Yes, so obviously email isa.pmfrc@belnet.ca, which is also monitored daily and hourly. Like Angèle is really good at refreshing. And then, yes, absolutely. There's always a cell number, 613-602-1432.
Perfect. We actually had a question while we were going, so I'm going to ask that question. We had a question about childcare over the summer. Since the camp programs are not going to be running, what would the options be for someone who had a 5-year-old who was looking for childcare options? So I'm just going to throw that out. I don't know who wants to answer that.
we start at 6 years old for our summer program. So
I think in our case for our license programs at this point, we're looking at establishing our full-time care, which there is a wait list for. So I'm not sure that someone would be able to get in full-time over the summer. The casual care programs right now, given some of the restrictions that the ministry has identified, we're likely not going to be able to open up our casual care programs right away. So that's one of the reasons why our focus is on the full-time care. I'm not sure what the community has to offer for childcare. I just know we're pretty limited at the MFRC for full-time daycare that's licensed.
Perfect. Thank you for that. That's all of the questions we have. I want to thank all of our guests for joining us today. There was a lot of really interesting information, and I learned some stuff that I didn't know ahead of time. So I'm just going to remind you all that if you're looking for information about PMFRC programs, you can subscribe to this Facebook page. PSP also has a Facebook page that you may want to follow for information about their programs, or you can check out our joint website at cafconnection.ca/Petawawa. Lots of really interesting information there. Also, if you are leaving and going to another location and now being posted to another base, if you go to CAF Connection, on that top bar where it says Petawawa, there's a drop-down menu and you can select your new base. So when you go to the new base, you're going to find the information about their PSP and their PMFRC. So if you are leaving Petawawa and you're used to the CAF Connection site, good news, it's going to look the same in your new base, and that's where you can find that information. So if you want to scope out and see what's available before you go, that's one good way to do that. Next week, we're going to be back and we're going to be talking about the Veteran Family Program. So we have some folks joining us to talk about that. Our VFP coordinator is going to be here, as well as one of our family liaison officers. So we hope you can join us for that. Thank you all for joining us today. Thank you to our guests for all of their information, and we look forward to seeing you again next week. Bye.
Bye, everyone.